What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be seeing, first of all, if there's a bearing leak from, or not a bearing, a bad bearing from the water pump. Plus also, we're going to be tearing apart this engine to figure out where the rod knock is coming from, because I'm very curious about that. I've already taken the belt off for the alternator, and I'm in the process of getting the AC belt off and the power steering pump off. And actually that should be all the belts that I have to go. But let me just tell you, GM or Chevy, whichever one, I mean, really made it where you could work on. I've been wrenching at this for maybe 10 minutes and I managed to get almost every belt off without screaming about having to take something else apart. All you really need are deep wells, like a 13 and a 15, and you can get everything off and it's amazing. Alrighty, so I just confirmed it. Definitely a bad bearing in the water pump. What I did was I took apart all the pulleys that connected to the water belt, which was every single pulley in existence. And then I ran the car, and of course there's still a knock coming from the engine, but there's no bearing noise coming from the water pump. Either I fix the bearing in a water pump or I get a new water pump. Maybe you should help me decide in the comments what's the best option. I mean, of course I could go the cheap route and fix it myself, or I can just get all the water pump problems away and buy a new one. But yeah, tell me what you think. So after a little bit of time, I got this valve cover off, and I got it off, and it's not this side. I just spun the engine and the rockers are all moving up and down, which is an amazing sign, and you can clearly see that it's been getting oil. I do have to order new gaskets, but I still will cover it up overnight. That way nothing can get in. Now it's time to check that side. If that is the same case, then it probably is what I fear, which is either a spun rod or a connecting rod that's just flapping in there. Which I really hope it's not a connecting rod. If it's a spun rod, then I'll just rebuild the engine maybe. Alrighty, so I just popped out the second head. I placed it right there. The music's a little loud. And all the rockers are nice. You know, there's a little bit of wiggle, but after 40 years, I don't really, but it's not a tremendous amount that like concerns me whatsoever. And I just turned the engine and they're all going down. So another thing is sticking, and it probably is exactly what I fear it is. Considering the time of day that it is right now, it's about like 7 o'clock during the day. I might, I'll probably do it tomorrow, that I pop the oil pan off and check to see if any of the connecting rods are just flippy flappy. That's a good check though, to see if a connecting rod is broken. And if it's not, then it's definitely a spun bearing, which I could replace, The kits are like, what, $74 for a whole gasket kit? I mean, a whole engine rebuild kit. It's not $70 for a whole engine rebuild kit, but I could probably get new rod bearings and new piston rings. I don't know if I want to get new piston rings. I don't have anything to set the piston rings yet. Maybe. I'm gonna think about it. So yeah, we'll look at this tomorrow.
Oh no, the screws are too long.
So for those of y'all who are wondering, when I'm not working on cars, I actually work at TV Controls, and this is a great example of one of the things that I design and work out how to do. This is a pneumatic trainer add-on to our already pre-existing trainers, and it's turned out pretty good. It involves a lot of communication skills, but has also allowed me to kind of tinker with designing things, and but that's what I do when I'm not working on cars. So I already got this vehicle jacked up and on jack stands, so we're all good there. This is the oil pan, and as you can see, it drops down right there, where then you can drain it. First things first is we gotta drain all the oil out of it, so let's go ahead and start doing that. Oh, I'm actually setting up the camera right now, and it's looking a little stormy outside, so it'll be fine. I'll just put all my stuff inside. We'll be under the car anyway, so maybe I'll close the hood for safe measure. Now, what really sucks is that I just did this oil change, and it's the wrong size socket. It's probably a 15 millimeter. Anyways, like I was saying, I just did an oil change on this thing. So it is Oh my god, how tight did I put it? Or am I not turning the right way? Wait a minute, that's tightening. This way's loosening. Oh, maybe I was tightening it. How much did I maybe tightened it with the big one, you know? Let me grab the 1/2 inch. Huh. I must have tightened it with the 1/2 inch on accident. Or not on accident, I probably had a reason for it. But probably wasn't thinking that I was going to be changing the oil while it was cold still. Like the engine's cold. It's actually like 70 degrees out here today. Which is pretty nice. Alrighty. Let's take you out and get ready for a big spill. Oh. I don't know if you can see that or not. I don't have a second person with me today. But there is, I just put brand new oil in this thing. And it's black as can be right now. I'm not even joking. This is not what I was expecting today. So either I have a really bad spun rod, or something's gone wrong. I can tell you that right now. I'm gonna let that drain out for a little bit, and then we'll try to drop the oil pan. Can we? So because of my afraidness that it's gonna rain and the fact that it's sprinkling a little bit even now, I didn't really record taking out the starter and undoing all the bolts for the oil pan because I don't want to get this camera wet. So, but it should be loose now. I got a mini crowbar right here, but first what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just whack this thing a few times. Whoops, missed. If I hit it from the front a little bit, am I even hitting it? No. Of course I'm not. I'm pretty sure I undid all the bolts, but let me do a thorough check around. Yeah, definitely. Oh, there's one bolt. Never mind. Let me figure that one out. I get that bolt on, and then we remove said bolt from said oil pan. Now if I hit it with a mallet, oh yeah, that thing's loose. Just ain't gonna drop down. Why won't you drop down? I feel like I'm missing a bolt. So it did indeed actually start raining outside. But come to find out, due to my misjudgment, you actually have to lift the engine up a few inches to remove the oil pan out of a small block Chevy. And considering the fact that it's starting to rain outside, there's been a few downpours already on me. Right now it's not as bad, but since it's downpouring and I'm definitely not going to be down here for like the next 7 hours trying to figure out how to lift up this engine. I mean, I know how to. I'll just go to Harbor Freight tomorrow, buy an engine stand, pull the engine tomorrow. Most Harbor Freight is still open tonight, then I'll buy the engine stand tonight. But, you know, if it's closed now, I'll just wait till tomorrow morning. Before I go away for the night until tomorrow morning, I should probably explain why I want to take the engine out. It makes no power at all. And I think it's because it's a spun rod bearing. I've checked all the rockers. Of course, you saw that yesterday in this video, but yesterday. And I just want to rebuild it, really. I was thinking about swapping it for a 350 Chevy small block, but I'll keep the 2.88 liter in there. It seems like a fun engine. So yeah, we're gonna go to bed because I'm hungry and I'm tired. Good night. Okay, it's the next day, and I got my hard-working father over there doing the task for me. I'm just kidding. I was cleaning up the shop. So what we're gonna do now is jack the Camaro up off the jack stands, roll it into here, jack it back up onto the jack stands, but not as high as it is right now. The reason I had it that high is because I could access the oil pan without hitting my head. And we'll use this 2,200 pound crane to pull it out. Oh, and I bought an engine stand. Oh, I need to assemble that, don't I? Ooh, look at that thing. Sweet, brand new 1,000 pound engine stand. It'll probably be enough to hold that engine, most definitely. Alrighty, so the engine stand is now all built, I hope. I hope it holds this. And then this is the state of the engine at the moment. Dad's doing a great job.
Check us up.
We got the engine basically disassembled and the bow housing bolts disassembled as well. And we put this, what do you call it?
Thingy.
We put this thingy right here, and we'll jack.
I guess load balancer, is that what you call it? I don't know.
I don't know.
Just know that's what we always used to angle loads.
Yeah, so we're gonna jack this thing up and then drag it into the shop here, where then we're gonna eat lunch and then crane the engine up.
Oh no, we're craning the engine up, then we'll get lunch. You get the engine out, then we'll eat.
Oh, the eating reward. So we just rocked it back and forth and got the engine off the input shaft of the transmission. So now basically what I'm doing is I'm checking while we have it up in the air to see if anything's still connected, like these ground wires right here need to be disconnected before we can fully raise it up.
How about that? There was a fancy connector there. We could have just unplugged that instead of taking all this crap loose. All right, how's it look? Ready to come up a little bit?
Yep, keep going. Stop. I'm just double checking.
Got a wire back here. Yep, there we go.
Yep. That's this.
Oh, that was already disconnected, man.
Well,
Double disconnecting stuff?
that's better than not disconnecting it. Alright, go ahead.
Let's get the throttle kind of out of the way. All right, ready?
Yep.
Fingers clear. Looking good?
Yep. Keep going. Yep. Keep going.
Gotta get the right camera view, man.
Alright, we're everything good.
The engine's out and on a stand, which means my job is done, but it also means that Michael's job is just beginning because he has some serious metal in there. So have fun.
Alright, so we got it pulled up on the engine stand. We flipped it over and took off the oil pan. Holy moly, do I have a treat for me. This... When I opened this up, Dad can confirm this, I had actual shock in my voice. The dogs didn't even have this much metal in the oil pan when we pulled it out. So, I think the knock might be coming from multiple places.
Yep, I agree, and probably right there.
Yep, definitely.
Got a nice wiggle on this rod here. And get a nice wiggle on that rod there. Oh yeah, I think.
I think every single bearing on this thing is toast except for these two.
Yep, I'm gonna say you're gonna need a crank by the end of this.
Alrighty, so it's on the engine stand, and we took the valve covers off. So what I'm doing now is disconnecting the head bolts from the block. And luckily, the head bolts aren't stripped, unlike the Dodge, where I did manage to strip the bolts because I overheated it. And that's 4 head bolts out of the head. Now I gotta figure out a way to disconnect it from the block. I need to take the intake manifold off. Before I do that, I just realized. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There we go. Oh yeah. That thing's sliding on nicely now. It was. Oh yeah. That's off now. Almost. There we go. I haven't seen the bottom of this, so I'm showing the camera first. Oh, hey! That don't look like too bad. All right, let's take the rocker arms off. Ha 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 ha.
Where's the 3/8 fractional 6-point socket holder?
Socket holder?
Uh-huh.
What you mean?
Like the thing all the sockets go in.
Well, it's gonna be out here. I don't use Imperial. Oh, it's right there.
That's right. I know, I did it. It's like, there's no way. No, this is the 1/2 inch.
Well, it's not the 1/2 inch, it's the 3/8.
That's right, that's what I'm looking for. That's like, man, am I losing my mind?
Yeah.
Probably.
Man, I really don't like bugs. I don't even know if it's there anymore. I don't like bugs. I like bugs. Don't get me wrong. I understand their importance, but like when I'm working on an engine covered in oil and grease, you think I really want a ladybug landing on me? Especially in my hair and in my ears. Battery died. I forgot more bolts. Holding this in. Basically what I'll do is I'll just like screw the bolts back in like a normal person would. Oh yeah! These heads are heavy. What does it look like? I can't see it.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Okay.
Like an exhaust.
Oh.
And intake valve.
I would hope it would be. Basically, here's basically what the pistons look like. And they're looking pretty good. So I ain't complaining. At all. Now, we're gonna pop the second head off. Plus also, these are... Alrighty, I pulled the head off. It looks like it's in good shape too, so what I'm gonna do now is take all of the lifters out. Alrighty, so it's a few hours later. I've actually managed to pull out all of the pistons out of here. Look at that shine. And then I have the pistons all lined up right here, from front to the rear, with all the bearings that came out of it. My camera's about to die, so I'm just gonna say this. I'm tired for the day. I'm gonna go up to the house, take a nap, and then probably search on how much it's gonna cost to rebuild this engine. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of this video. Hope you have a good time watching. Till next time.